Okay.
Do you want to do an introduction before I
might have to do it a few times because I always
Yeah.
mess up. That's why there's editing. Hey guys, it's me 1239 here, and I'm here with
Amelia!
and this is our first. Well, this is kind of our second video, right?
We were in each other's vlogs,
Yeah.
but this is our first like official
video.
collaboration.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna be showing me the Anne of Green Gables musicals.
So today you'll be reacting to various Anne of Green Gables musicals. First off, just to get like a baseline, do you like musicals?
Yes.
Okay. How much?
I think like recently I've been getting more into them.
Right,
Like,
so you're only a recent fan.
Yeah.
And are you more of like a casual fan, or do you like know every word to every song in every musical?
It depends. Yeah, it depends on like what musical. Like I've seen two of them not recently, well this year. Yeah, it really depends on how much I later on like the musical. Right? Like there's this one musical I saw last year. It's called Hedwig, the Angry Inch,
Yes.
and like I know
I know
every. You know that one?
I know of it. I haven't
okay.
actually gotten around to hearing all the different songs, but
I really love the songs. Like the soundtrack is really good.
though I do watch the Tony Awards, they performed Sugar
Yeah.
Daddy there,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
just like
I love
watch
it.
it on repeat.
Yeah, I love that.
How many have you seen, listened to, / know about?
I think the main one is Hedwig. I don't really listen that much to musicals, but that
Okay,
one is
so-
stuck with me forever.
So Hedwig is more of a rock musical.
Yeah.
This is not rock. So how much do you know about the Anne musicals?
Very little. I think only from like what I've seen of your Tumblr, like when you
Okay.
talked about it.
Let's talk about the Anne musicals. There are 3 of them. The major one that happens in Charlottetown every year as part of the Charlottetown Festival is called Anne of Green Gables, the musical. The minor one that happens in Charlottetown every year is called Anne and Gilbert, and that explores the 2nd and 3rd book, but kind of only the Sherbert parts because it's all Anne and Gilbert. And also there's a brand new one called Anne of Green Gables, a new folk rock musical.
Wow.
That like I don't really know that much about because it's very new. Like this year.
Really? So is that performed in Charlottetown as well?
No, it's actually like in New York.
Oh, interesting.
I'm pretty sure just New York State, not New York City
Yeah.
yet. But anyway. Okay, so I will show you 2 trailers and 4 songs from the first, a trailer and 2 songs from the second, and 2 trailers and 2 songs from the last one. You can cut that down to make sure it's like, you know, short.
Yeah.
But the full list of everything that I'm showing you is on my YouTube page. So now I'm going to play the first video.
Yes.
Do you have a splitter? 'Cause
No, I don't.
the video is gonna pop up around here.
Yeah.
So
We
we
have to always calculate that.
Gee, I'm glad I'm no one else. Gee, I'm glad I'm no one else but me.
Yeah. Is this like when we're
Danube in waltzes, my
Yeah.
lullaby.
Oh, interesting.
Let's
And
Yeah. I love the dresses.
yeah. Oh, the ice cream part,
Yeah.
right?
ice cream.
I described it on my Tumblr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a sherbet thing or?
It is a sherbet because Gilbert's the one that trips them.
Oh, okay.
That was the trailer for the 2016 production of Anne of Green Gables, the musical. So you could just get a taste for what the visuals look
Yeah,
like.
okay.
Because they don't have that many like productions out there, like even
Right.
just single numbers out there. So the only things I could get for it were like when we go and listen to songs, I couldn't get any of the actual
Full
show.
version?
So it's just gonna be staring at a blank screen while
okay.
the song
song,
plays.
yeah.
The musical has been around for a very long time. It first opened in 1965 and has been running every summer since then. For comparison, that's the same year The Sound of Music was released and Martin Luther King Jr. March on Selma. Neil Armstrong hadn't yet walked on the moon, and the first Super Bowl wouldn't happen for another 2 years. Star Wars and Sesame Street hadn't debuted either. Since its opening, they updated the cast and set, but they haven't changed the music and are still using the exact same cast recording from the 1965 cast. It's very timeless in that respect. Okay, so in 2014, it was awarded the Guinness World Record for longest running annual musical theater production. It's important to note that that category was created specifically for this musical because no other place does the exact same musical every year, but only during the summer.
Yeah.
Like for decades on end.
Yeah. What's the score? Is it like, oh my god. Oh, I'm scared.
It's not gonna hurt you. I kind of want to take a picture of it.
Oh, it keeps moving.
Never mind. At that point, in 2014, it was about to open for its 50th consecutive summer in Charlottetown and had 2,837 performances. The longest running musical in Broadway history is Phantom of the Opera with 10,893 performances, like as of that day, March 9th, 2014. That's a lot more than the Anne number, but you also have to remember that that's year round, whereas Anne is only in the summer.
Right.
So it's been running for longer.
Yeah.
Still, 2,837 is an impressive number, and it would be the 20th longest running show in Broadway history if it had been on Broadway.
Right.
That's behind Hello Dolly and ahead of My Fair Lady. You don't know that much about Broadway history, so these names are just like going over your head, but like it's fairly impressive. I got all these numbers from a Globe and Mail article, and I can send you the link, so link in the description. For a little bit of history, it was originally adapted for television by Don Herron, who wrote the book and lyrics, Norman Campbell, who wrote the music, and Phil Nimitz, who covered the orchestration. It premiered March 9th, 1956 on CBC Folio, and then a second production aired November 18th, 1958 with some cast changes. In 1965, the Charlottetown Festival commissioned Herron and Campbell to expand the TV version and like add more songs so it can be a full-length musical, not just a made-for-TV thing. Elaine Campbell, who was married to Norman Campbell, and Mavor Moore, don't know how to pronounce that, wrote additional lyrics, and John Fenwick prepared the orchestration this time. It premiered July 27th, 1965 on the main stage of the Confederation Center for the Arts. The production has toured many times, both around Canada and going to Japan a few times, as well as New York. Do you know about the Japan's ties to Anne of Green Gables? Okay. It has a very special attachment because it's part of the curriculum, so there are like a lot of Anne fans in Japan. After Hiroshima, like the two nuclear bombs, the Japanese government wanted to like include some Western things in their curriculum, and this one guy had a Japanese translation of Anne of Green Gables, so he's like, here, take this, and they put it in the curriculum, and now everyone in Japan loves Anne. There have also been a few independent productions in London, Toronto, and other cities in Canada. That's London, Ontario, not London. No, I'm pretty sure it's also London, England.
Really?
I'll have to fact check that. In 2011, there were a lot of changes. Herron was contracted to write a new scene, and sets were redesigned to have a more three-dimensional effect to keep up with the newer technologies while still keeping the same old timeless songs. It was relaunched on June 28th, 2011. Ticket sales increased significantly. This is an example of the new marketing.
That's Matthew, right?
Yeah. Oh, this is honestly my favorite scene, but
Oh my god.
it's Gilbert.
Oh, this light scene. Is there ice cream or something like?
In the books, yeah. There's a Wednesday picnic that's going to happen, but then the whole brooch thing happens, and Marilla's like, you can't go to the Wednesday picnic.
Have you seen the PBS version?
No, I have not.
That's the only one I've seen where there's ice cream involved. Because I don't think in the 80s version there was ice cream. And obviously not in Anne with an E. So.
No. I mean, they always like mention it, but it's usually just like the side comment. They don't usually have a full song dedicated to it. Full song and dance number. Anyway.
Have you seen the 80s version?
Yes. Jonathan Crombie will always be remembered.
Yeah.
His birthday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Now we are going away from the trailers. I hope you got like a little idea of what the visuals look like. Now for the actual music. This song that I'm going to show you is sung by the school children of Avonlea. There is some dancing in it, but I couldn't find any like actual recordings, so we will settle for this. What you need to know is that the boys and girls are dancing, then they dance together. They're also using their like book belt things, and like throwing them in the air and catching them like in synchronization, and they're also skipping with the jump rope,
Right.
which you saw a little bit in the
Yes.
first trailer.
Homework ought to be done. Think of the spelling bee, that's fun. Think of the arithmetic on the slate. Think about recess, can't wait.
I know all the words. So yeah, it's just a boring visual.
Snicks, it's old man Phillips.
Oh my god. Kind of have to picture it.
Okay, so I'll describe it. They're all standing in a very straight line while Mr. Phillips goes by on a bike, and then you hear her say, "Get him, Charlie!" Charlie's at the very end, and he goes and he throws an egg or something after Mr. Phillips.
What? Oh my god.
Get him, Charlie.
This is very classical Broadway orchestration, so not the rock.
Yeah.
Very classic. Not classical, but classic Broadway.
So are they dancing right now?
They are, which is kind of boring because
Yeah.
you can't see it. It's a very good example for what most of the orchestration and most of the music sounds like.
Right.
This is when Gilbert arrives.
Wait, is this like the first time?
Yes. This is before they go into class. They're all dancing outside because school is starting, so they have to get all their summer energy out.
I'm so excited.
Okay, any thoughts?
I really like the music just because like I used to be in band, so I appreciate, the trumpets. I really like it.
Okay, this next video isn't actually from Charlottetown Festival, but it's one of the other productions. Again, I couldn't find any actual Charlottetown Festival recordings. I will talk about it more after the video, but just for a little context, it's sung as Miss Stacy's introduction.
Open the window, sweep
So
out
that's
the
Miss Stacy.
cobwebs of your hands. Reach for the skies.
Yes, but how does a lobster
Yes.
fertilize?
Learn everything. Our first class today will be what, Miss Stacy? Nature study. Oh, out, look at the sunlight. Look at the senses. Tear down the fences. Use your 5 senses. No, roll up the blind bear.
I like the
Paradise
choreography.
all ablaze. And it flew. Open the
Okay,
Interesting.
so that was Miss Stacy. Okay, so any thoughts?
I like the singing and the dancing. I like the way that
Yeah.
they did something with the kid. They like
Airplane Blue.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
That song is by far the most jazzy of all the songs in the musical. It also makes it the most modern sounding.
Right,
The other
yeah.
ones are very like classic Broadway. It could be from any time,
Yeah.
but this one is very jazzy. It's very modern because Miss Stacy is also the most modern woman in Avonlea.
Yes.
In many people's opinions. So they gave her the more modern sound. I've been to a few productions on my many trips to the island.
Yeah.
The most memorable one is when we had a Miss Stacy with like a very jazzy voice. So you know that part where she like riffed a little bit?
Yeah.
So this Miss Stacy just like went crazy there, and she was like so amazing, and she was it was beautiful. So that was definitely my most memorable version of that song because she just like rolled with it. She went. So yeah, it was very amazing to watch. Okay, so this next song is actually my favorite.
Yeah.
It's sung by Gilbert.
Oh my God, yes.
And it's a love song to Anne.
Is this the one you're telling me about?
It is.
Yeah.
I will go over that little story later, but anyway, I'm afraid that I can't watch it because it's going to reveal to everyone how much of a Gilbert fangirl
Yeah.
I am.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
I mean, we all are. I think.
I know all the words.
Wandering, all at once I'm wandering, and have someone show up. Awful nights and you'll be such a silly fool.
This is beautiful. Oh my
Now
god.
they'll all
It's my favorite part.
cause I called her Cara.
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah.
I might be
This is my other favorite line.
wondering if she might be wondering about me.
Oh, for sure. And this is when like Anne is there. Like,
It's Gilbert's aside,
Aside,
so
right?
he's not singing it like
yeah, to
her, he's singing it at her.
Uh-huh. Yes. This is Sherbert feels.
Yeah, that's my favorite song.
Yeah, that would be my favorite too.
Any thoughts about that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's really beautiful. I love the way he sings. Though I can never picture Lucas.
I can't picture Lucas either.
No.
I could kind of picture Jonathan
Yeah.
Crombie doing it.
Kind of weird talking about this. No, Jonathan, I think he has like the passion, the way he looks at the Anne in the 80s version.
Yeah.
I could see him sing something like that to her. I don't know if he could sing something.
I kind of want to get, I don't know, one of the cast members because they're all like so amazingly talented.
Yeah.
Like Kyle's like literally a
Yes.
musician.
Oh, yeah, a lot of
If-
them actually sing. It's
And
so,
Amy Beth too. And,
yeah.
like
All the girls sing, I think, right? Like,
Yeah.
even Delilah, I didn't know she sang until like the second
yeah.
season.
I didn't even know, but if they were to sing a song from Anne of Green Gables, the
Yeah.
musical, my heart would just like explode.
They should definitely do that. Even if they don't do it in the show, like they should do a video of that.
Yeah.
As I said, I can't picture Lucas singing that.
No, not Lucas. I don't think Lucas would want to do something like that.
Yeah.
But I think Amy Beth could be like
Yeah.
into doing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
She's into theater a lot, actually. So
Yeah.
I could see her do that.
So now I'm just gonna go over the like situation for that. You already know this. You guys might not. So that was sung by Gilbert right after the whole carrots incident with the slate.
Yeah.
So Mr. Phillips has Josie right on the board, and without an E, Shirley has a very bad temper, and the entire class, except Anne, who's too humiliated, and Gilbert, who's too infatuated, also has to recite it. Then the class goes out for recess, except for Anne, who has to stay behind as punishment, and Gilbert, who has to clean up the blackboard and then join them. Gilbert wipes off everything except for Anne, to which he adds an E, then sings to her, and like making her name complete. But he sings to her as an aside, so Anne doesn't actually like acknowledge him. It's more like for the audience's
Yeah.
benefit to like know what's going on inside his
Inside,
mind.
yeah.
Anne, meanwhile, is like crying at her desk.
Oh.
It is literally my favorite song ever. There is a joke. If anyone wants to have my heart forever, the only thing that they have to do is sing this song and I will literally be
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah.
Except it's a joke because it's true. Moving on. The next song is also Sherbert, but it's the dark side of Sherbert. And singing.
Like the competitive side?
Dark Sherbert.
Dark shirt.
That's what I call it.
The only one I'll show
They
her.
have that in season 3. Not dark, like dark sherbet, but competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess dark sherbet. That should be a thing.
In each race.
What I
I know.
Josie's pride and joy. I know he.
Lose my nerve and not show up and run away. I'll throw it.
I love it just like shows that their anxieties of having the other person beat them.
Yeah.
That's what drives them to go forward.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it's what drives them to go forward.
Oh yes, this is definitely good.
Yeah. I've always been using it to describe this period of their relationship.
The drama.
That's Anne and Gilbert after the falling out, when they both like hated each other.
Yeah.
It's not just Anne hating Gilbert, Gilbert infatuated
really?
with Anne. It's
Oh, okay.
mutual. It's when they were super competitive with each other. They're both going like to show the other one up. Any thoughts on this video?
I like how, as you it's dark sherbet, so it's like, I like the competitiveness. Like that's,
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people like about sherbet is, the love-hate
Yeah.
trope, right? Which is, as I said, like I really want to see that in season 3.
I don't really want to see it in season 3,
Really?
just because I do want them to be competitive, but I want it to be like a friendly competition in which they both like, sure, in class it's them against each other, but when they're studying, they study together, they
Yeah.
bond
Okay,
by
yeah.
doing things like together.
Yeah. I think for Gilbert, like in season 1, it was more like friendly. Do you know that theory that lost on purpose? Like he spelled it.
Yeah, I don't believe that theory.
Really?
I believe that it was a genuine mistake, but then once he like, you know that thing where you make a mistake and then you realize the second afterwards, like, no, I should have done something different. He like realized that he should have added the E, and then like
And then,
he
yeah,
did like, I
just
should have
so.
added the E, just because he saw his opportunity and he took
Yeah.
it. That's just my theory about that. So do you have any thoughts on the entire show? There are a lot more songs that I could show you, but those are just the 4 I chose.
I really liked it, yeah. I don't know how the other ones are gonna be, but this one is, like, I can definitely see this be like Anne. So,
Yes.
like, playful and cheerful. And I love, as I said, I think
Yeah.
it was third song, the Gilbert one. Yeah, I could definitely see, as I said, like Jonathan.
Yeah. I can also kind of see Kyle doing an acoustic cover just to like
Yeah.
boost his Anne cred.
Yes, you should. Wow. Sorry, I can see that too.
Okay,
Should, like,
so
curl his hair. Just for that.
moving on from Anne of Green Gables the musical to Anne and Gilbert. So Anne and Gilbert, it is Charlottetown, but it's not part of the Charlottetown Festival. It's like independently done aside from the Charlottetown Festival. Because I'm pretty sure the Charlottetown Festival only wants to have one Anne show on at a time. The Anne of Green Gables the musical is definitely like the original. It's like the definitive Anne.
Yeah.
It's existed for 20 years longer than the 85 version of Anne.
Right. Yeah.
Which is like the definitive Anne in terms of movies, so it's definitely the definitive Anne in terms of musicals.
Yes. I remember because I met Megan Follows, she did this panel where she talked about like the Anne from the musical, and she said when she first got the role, she didn't think she owned the role, like because there was that, it existed, right, the musical, so she felt like it was being passed on to her, but she never considered it her role, right? Like some people
Because it's
think-
definitely a palimpsest.
Yeah, and some people think that she basically owns the role. They only see her as Anne while they don't see anyone else play Anne.
No.
But said that she thinks it's just something that is being passed on, and everyone plays it differently, you know.
Anne, Gilbert, Marilla, all those characters are all palimpsestas,
Yes.
so you can't really have one definitive.
yeah.
There are so many different versions with so many different things added. So let's watch the trailer for Anne and Gilbert.
So they're older
musical.
here, right?
Yes,
This
it's the
new
second and third book.
internationally acclaimed and Gilbert Blythe. For anyone who loves the Anne books, this production gloriously brings them to life. Anne and
So they
Gilbert
get
is a
married,
love song to a
I'm
life.
not gonna
With
spoil
I
it.
think they
that
did.
rings true of L.M. Montgomery.
Because it is just following the Sherbert moments throughout the second and third book.
Oh. I think this musical is perfect for all the Sherbert.
Yeah.
Sherbert fans.
Yeah. Anne and Gilbert originally debuted in 2005. It was created by Bob Johnson, Nancy White, and Jeff Hofstehauser. I can't pronounce that. I've only seen Anne and Gilbert once. It's not as good as the other musical. In my opinion, other people can have different opinions, but in my opinion, the problems with it are epitomized in the song Hothouse Flower, which I'm not going to show you because I literally can't get through it again. The choruses has to rhyme words like flower, dance, and happy, and fails to do it every single time. I like to be swept away in the brilliance of the wordplay and like orchestration for me when I watch musicals. I freaking love Hamilton in that respect. But when I was watching, or when I was listening to this, I couldn't help but feel like, hey, I could write a better song than this. But they do have like other good songs, which I'll show you. First song is called Your Island Through and Through. I want you to watch it and pay attention to the dancing, because they like do traditional Irish jigs. That's common in the Maritimes because it's mainly Irish and Scottish settlers. I actually know a little bit of Highland dancing because my mom taught it to me. They do it a lot better.
Is this outside?
It is outside.
Yeah. It goes.
Gilbert and
Does Diana appear in this?
she isn't it. She's just married to someone, so she's not much.
Fred, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of like island cliches or like, that's Josie. I think that's Rachel Lynn. It's a town.
Wow. Oh my god. Wow.
Thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
I like the dancing. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
I actually want to draw your attention to like this one little lyric in particular. Like when I was going over all of this stuff for researching for this, it made me think of Bash and laughed for like 10 minutes. Like I laughed for a pretty long time, but I have a weird sense of humor, so you're right. Anyway. If you think that eating spicy food is just a sign of greed and porridge and potatoes are all you really need. Like remember his conversation with Gilbert about food, how like sometimes add salt. It's like salt.
Yeah.
Again, weird sense of humor. So this next song is called Mr. Blythe, and it's sung by the girls in Avonlea, reacting to the fact that Gilbert is their teacher this year. Also kind of the fandom's reaction to
the
Gilbert
fangirls.
and Lucas.
Gilbert and Lucas? Oh.
Because we fangirl over them
Oh,
all the freaking time. Anyway.
Have you seen the picture with him and Shannon?
The Home Sweet Home?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was cute.
Mr. Boy, who makes girls heavenly side.
Wait, how old are these girls?
Like from 12 to 16, I think. But Mr. Blythe is only like 18 minutes.
Oh, okay. It's not like Mr. Phillips.
I can totally picture doing someone in editing.
Uh-huh. Oh my god. The fandom. I think this is the fandom's anthem.
Yes.
Because it's just... Yeah. I get it though.
Necklace.
Oh, yeah.
That's Josie.
Wait, Josie?
Right there. She's leading this.
Of course she is. Oh, right, I forgot that because she's younger, right? Like the...
No, she made sure she was held back a year so she could have Gilbert as a teacher.
What? Is that in the books or just in the musical?
No, just in the musical, not in the books. Okay, thoughts?
Oh my god. I mean, as I said, it's like the fandom in one video, you know? That's...
Yeah, it's the entire fandom summarized
Yeah.
very quickly and concisely. Okay, I just want to draw your attention to a few of the lyrics. Mr. Blythe, you make the girls of Avonlea sigh. Mr. Blythe, the best looking boy on PEI. Okay, Mr. Blythe, sitting on his desk, reciting rhymes. Mr. Blythe, no one cuter in the Maritimes.
Oh my god. What? I
Okay,
can't.
because you're my teacher, you're a man. Mr. Blythe, I'll do my homework when I can.
Can't. Yes.
Mr. Blythe, if only you'd get over Anne.
Oh my god.
This is my favorite part. Mr. Blythe, you're not just beautiful. Mr. Blythe, Mr. Teacher, you'll always be Gilbert. I love you, Gilbert. You'll always be Gilbert
Yeah, that's
to me.
the fandom in Vegas, okay? Like, I get.
I just find that very, very funny for some reason. So, any last thoughts?
As you said, like the fandom and Gilbert and Lucas, I didn't really get at first like why you said Lucas, but now I do. Like,
Yeah.
it's like they can dedicate this song to him.
I am waiting for someone to make an edit
Yeah.
using that song because, like, it is perfect. Okay, thoughts on the entire musical? Because before I move on to the next one.
It's really interesting to see, you know, the song especially. I think it's my favorite, but I really like seeing Anne and Gilbert like older,
Yeah.
you know? I really liked it.
Moving on to the last musical. This one is a different style. This is the musical I know the least about, so I have the least amount of
Newer?
like extra to add. It's
Yeah.
the newest. I literally haven't seen it. It has a lot of different styles from like folk rock and pop and even some gospel, so it might be a bit more closer to Hedwig. Matt O'Brien wrote the books and lyrics. Matt Vinson handled the music, and Justin Goldner did all the orchestration. It was on the Finger Lakes Musical Festival during their 2018 season with Mackenzie Custon as Anne Shirley and Chris McCarroll as Gilbert. Fun fact, I've actually seen Chris McCarroll perform as Gilbert in The Lightning Thief, the musical, which everyone should check out if they haven't. Do you know Percy Jackson?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I
so-
watched the movie.
No.
No?
The entire fandom has completely disowned that movie.
Really? Why?
Okay.
Because I watched it a long time ago, like when it first came out.
Okay,
So I,
first of all, it's like
Yeah.
an objectively horrible movie. But second of all, it is not at all loyal to the books.
Really? Oh, I
Like,
haven't read the books.
At all. Okay, the books are amazing. The musical is a lot closer to the books. So that's why people like the musical. And he was in it. So it was just a weird connection because I have seen him perform, just not as Gilbert.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so let's see the first trailer. It's a lot more modern.
Yeah.
And it also has a more diverse cast, so it's more modern. The first musical I showed you was like the definitive,
Yeah.
the ancient, the timeless one. So that's more like the 85 version.
Yeah.
This one is newer, it's modern, it's racially diverse,
It's
so
like-
it's more like Anne with an E.
I'd like to see this
Okay. Thoughts?
Oh yeah, I really like it. Kind of does remind me of Headway.
So now I will show you the second trailer, which is like more behind the scenes, so it's a longer video. It provides a glimpse into how they choreographed and showed the song I'm going to show you, which is the first song. It's like the introductory song, and like the two videos go really well together, so I'm going to show them like one after another.
Okay.
No stopping in between. And I'll get your thoughts at the very end.
Okay.
This sort of progressive female character, those themes felt very contemporary to us.
Fresh. She represents something for us that
they're
we want in our lives.
Yeah.
We want
This came out this year.
Yeah.
Matthew Cuthbert, really you?
So this is like when she meets him, right?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for you.
That was unexpected.
That's your name, right, Matthew Cuthbert?
Yes.
Then I'm who you sent. As who would expect someone like me to arrive in Avonlea? But it was amazing gazing out the window, blazing through the countryside, impounding ocean tide. It's what I wish for. I'll never want more than what I have. I never packed a bag before today, and let me say to my dismay, it's rather small, but it's got everything and all I've ever. I told the orphans not to cry this morning when I said bye-bye. I wasn't gonna hang up. You don't like to talk. I can talk enough for two. Not even sort of beautiful. No.
That's Green Gables. We're almost home.
Home, place to call my own.
I like that one.
So thoughts?
I liked how, I don't know if, like in the first one, Matthew's singing more, and so I like how in this one he's shyer, I guess, and I like how they add the parts in the book. And I like the overall song, right? So I like the whole modern thing,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you know, to it.
Final song I'm going to show you is called Diana's Lament. I don't really have a reason for adding it. I just like, while researching, I
Yeah.
liked it, and I think it's a nice song.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
this is the last video. So that's Diana.
And they're dead and as if your primary criterion is or and you'll wind up dead. Don't you think you've punished him enough then? Don't at the very least a friend. Oh, you'll need a friend there once you're far from Avonlea.
Diana's a sweet.
So Desdemona, the glorious
Is she supposed to have a crush on him?
Depends on the version.
Yeah.
In the 85 version, she does. In this one, it's
Kind of.
only because everyone else does.
Right.
Okay, so that's everything I have. Any final thoughts?
I think I ended up liking this version more.
I like it too. I mean, the first version is definitely classic.
Yeah.
And I can go back and watch it like over and over and over
Yes.
again and like still love it. But this one, it's rare to be excited and to see what happens next
Yeah.
on something that's been around for like 200 years or something, which is why I love Anthony and this.
In terms of songs, I think I really like the last one better. Like I think I could listen to that over and over again. Like
Yeah.
Headway. Love to see the first one for sure. So.
Yeah, Charlottetown Festival
Yes.
every year.
So yeah, so thank you so much for guiding me with this. I know you asked me like a few months ago to do
Yeah.
this video. I haven't had time to like do anything else other
Yeah,
than edit
it's-
reactions and stuff. Yeah.
It's also like a very big thing.
Yeah.
You kind of need a guide to walk you through it.
Yes.
Come see my channel
Yeah.
and visit my Tumblr and Instagram, please.
And
Thank
Shirley.
you. And Shirley was my childhood.
Yes, I'll link that all below. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for always watching. Yeah, go check out her channel. I'm in one of the videos, you know, the vlog. She does also like Anne content as well. Not just Anne with an E, but like
Also
overall.
Anne of Green
Anne of
Gables.
Green Gables, yes. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
First thing we climb a tree, and maybe then we'd talk, or sit silently and listen to our thoughts. illusions of song.